Let's address a nervous system bond, an attachment formed under conditions of intensity, hope, loss, and uninterrupted resolution. We can release this effectively. Experiencing this is not a weakness. It's not confusion or lack of discernment. You are attached because he was the one. You are attached because your body, psyche, and spirit encoded meaning during a very vulnerable window. Love, promise, pregnancy, grief, and abandonment all layered together. When something meaningful ends without repair, the system keeps reaching for completion. And that reaching feels like hope, but it's actually unfinished processing. The goal, therefore, is not to force yourself to stop thinking about him. That will backfire. The goal is to complete whatever was not completed, return to what does not belong to you, and reclaim parts of you that stayed behind, waiting. First, regulate the body before addressing the bond. Attachment lives in the body, not in the intellect. Once per day, preferably when sadness spikes, place one hand over your sternum and one on your lower abdomen. Inhale through the nose for a count of 4. Exhale through the mouth for a count of 6. As you exhale, gently hum or sigh. This vibration matters. It stimulates the vagus nerve and reduces attachment-driven anxiety. Let's do this together. Do not visualize him yet, and this step will tell your system, I am safe now. I am not being abandoned in this moment. Ready? Last one. Sit or stand with your feet on the floor. Say this out loud, slowly and clearly. I see now what I could not see then. I was not wrong to hope. I was wrong to abandon myself. Breathe in and out deeply and keep breathing. You are still attached because part of you is waiting for him to understand. That part believes like if he truly saw what he did, the pain would make sense or go away. You must give that part completion without involving him. Repeat this 2 more times. I see now what I could not see then. I was not wrong to hope. I was wrong to abandon myself. Go. Now say, you do not need to understand in order for me to be free. Pause. Let your body respond. If there is emotion, let it move. If there's nothing, that's fine too. Completion does not always have to look dramatic. Now, perform an energetic cord release that is grounded, not theatrical. Visualize him standing several feet in front of you, not as an idealized version, not as a villain, just as a neutral human. Notice any sensation in your body when you imagine this. That sensation is where the bond lives. Feel it there. Now say to yourself or out loud, what was real, I keep. What was imagined, I release. Imagine the bond not as something being ripped away, but as something dissolving because it is no longer being fed. If you feel resistance, don't force it. Just say, I am willing to loosen at my pace my body allows. I'm willing to let this loosen at the pace that my body allows. The willingness is enough. This can be repeated daily because bonds release in layers. Next, address the pregnancy meaning directly because this is the central part of the grief. Part of you equated conception with destiny. That belief anchored him deeper than logic ever could. Place your hand over your womb or your lower abdomen and say, that life was real. That loss was real. The meaning was mine, not his. Now say, I do not bind future life to past attachment. This is critical. You are not dishonoring what happened by releasing him. You are separating life energy from the person it temporarily passed through. Now interrupt the possibility hook. The reason you keep hanging on to any ounce of possibility is because your nervous system associates letting go with annihilation. Like closing the door means nothing good can follow. You must reframe letting go as making space and not losing opportunity. Every time your mind goes to what if, respond with, if it is aligned, it will not require my suffering. Say it every time your mind does that. This retrains the attachment loop. Finally, prayer. Not asking for a reunion, but for detachment with dignity. Once a day, simply say, remove from me what is no longer meant to remain. Leave the lesson, take the weight. You might not feel relief immediately, as consistency is needed. Relief comes after consistency, not after insight. One last thing, to say plainly and honestly, the part of you that wants to hang on is not actually wanting him. It is wanting confirmation that your intuition, your body, and your hope were not foolish. They were not. They were responding to incomplete information. That is not a moral failure. It's a human. If something were to ever happen in the future, it could only be healthy if the bond is fully released now. You are correct about that. Release is not rejection, it's clarity. You're not stuck. You're in a final phase of detanglement.